What's up, motherfuckers? I don't. This is like way late night, way early morning, something depending on where you're at. But I've got requests for this shit. So I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna play the full 2.5 fucking hours. But I've been lately requested like what let's do some nostalgic shit. Let's rewind back to the origins, the atheist round table. So we're gonna do that. I'm not gonna promise you, like I said, definitely not promising you 2.5 hours, but at least we can dip in and see where we come from. Fucking 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was, and yeah, we'll let it do what it do, and then when I'm ready to dip, we'll dip. What's up, Brilliant? It's definitely Friday, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 a.m. here. It's 5 a.m. here. So cheers, motherfuckers. Have a drink. So when we first launched the channel, what was it, April 22nd, 2020? This is the first ever episode ever streamed on this channel. Ever.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Atheist Roundtable.
The Atheist Roundtable. We got way better at that later.
We are very glad to have everybody that joins us this evening and even in the future. The nice thing is the comment section will always be open and we can always chat back and forth even after the broadcast is over. And as a reminder, at the end of the conversation, we will have a Q&A or just an open roundtable in the comment section. Just make sure, just talk, Austin. Make sure the questions are clear and concise.
Today, Junior.
And that we can easily get through them and make sure you address the question to the person that you're asking and not just a general question. That way we can be speedy with it. So that being said, introductions real quick before we get started in our discussion. As always, my co-host Mike. As always, great to have you, my man.
Thank you, buddy. You too as well.
You're a rock star. My name is Austin, and I am very, very excited for this conversation tonight, and I think it's going to be great. And for those that have not tuned into a roundtable episode live, and we're going to be posting some more content on here and kind of a series of these interviews or conversations with other theists and Christians. It's a
Never mind. Way back then, I talked way too fast anyway. Now that shit's gonna make my brain hurt. So I had to slow it back down.
Amazing just to be able to have conversations and not be a debate and a back and forth, but just we get to know each other, get to know worldviews, and at the end of the conversation, we always ask why. Why do you believe what you believe, and how did you come to that conclusion? So, that being said, our new friend, and he is our theist guest, taking his seat at the round table tonight. First and foremost, I always try to remember to tell each guest that I always have respect for any theist that will sit down at a table with two atheists and have any type of conversation, whether we're getting after it or not. We definitely have mad respect and appreciation for that. But This is Chris, and on TikTok goes as Crazy God Story. If you're not familiar, go check him out, check out his content. And he had asked me on our phone, I tried to do a kind of a phone screen.
And still to this fucking day, I have to give this dude credit. Still to this fucking day on TikTok. Crazy God Story. Crazy God Story. But it's still the same. It's still the same story. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. His family, he and his family are still broke, and like, yeah, it's still the same shit.
With each of our guests before we have them on, and he noticed that there are a few theists on TikTok that I've called out, and a couple of them being pretty harshly, and I in my opinion, rightfully so. But Chris, towards the end of the phone call, he said, "So, also, I just have to ask you, why haven't you done one on me? And I told him my honest answer. I said, you know what? There's two or three folks on TikTok that I believe are the epitome of what is wrong with Christianity, as far as the judgment and the dogma, the criticalness, just kind of the ugliness of it. And each and every time I've heard Chris on his TikTok, though I don't agree with his vehicle, though I don't agree with his belief, though I don't agree with that part of his worldview, the one thing that I appreciate is his content is about moving people forward. And to me, if you're about helping humanity, again, that doesn't mean I have to agree with your vehicle, but if you're trying to help move people forward, I can at least support that portion where you're trying to help people just be better people, better human beings. So that being said, Chris, it's great to have you on tonight. How are you feeling, my man?
I'm feeling good. This is awesome. I'm really stoked to be here, and yeah, just excited to get to talk to you guys and share my story, and then hear what you guys have to say, and yeah, so I'm pumped.
Awesome. Well, good. We're very excited to have you, and we've talked about it for the last couple of days, just prepping for these episodes, and we're glad to have you on. And I guess where I want to start is just some get to know you questions. That way,
that's probably on my end. Hold on. I forgot. I'm not DJing anymore. Hold on. I'm no longer DJing. It should be good now.
Mike and I have a good understanding of who you are, just as a dude, as a guy, who you are, and also our listeners, whether it's today or in the future. That way, we kind of know who we're talking to. So obviously, we know your name's Chris. Chris, where are you from?
Well, right now I live in Rockport, Texas. Been here for a bunch of years.
Man, and see the one thing, like going back and listening to this shit, like, can you tell? I'm like this is right as COVID is popping off, right? Can you tell at all that I was in upper sales management? Listen to how fucking fast I talk. I don't talk like that anymore. That's insane. Like, I feel like I'm listening to Busta Rhymes without a beat. Holy shit. Slow down. Take a breath, bro.
But I've lived all over the country. My ancestors were gypsies, like the rode around in wagons dressed like pirates, kind of gypsies. And it's just my family's always kind of moved around growing up. I've lived just Florida, Texas, good grief, Washington, South Carolina, and just Missouri, just bounced around a lot growing up. And now I live in Texas.
Okay. And where is that in Texas?
So Rockport is south of Houston, about 2 hours. But it's between Corpus Christi and Houston on the coast.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I have a few.
So we'll get through we'll get through the ice breaking shit here.
Nonprofit mechanic company, and I won't go into like the long. She said, hold on a minute. She went and got her Bible, and she goes, I want to read you something. And she read that verse in Ephesians that had already been speaking to me. And so for me, there was a lot of things that were evidence. And so, going forward, there's things like I'll feel God telling me to do or calling me to do. And I may not have evidence that this is what I'm supposed to do, but I can look in hindsight and go, this is the way I've seen God work, or I've seen God leading me before. So I'm looking at evidence from the past to base the things that I'm doing going forward, if that makes sense.
Sure. So like with another religious claim, you would say what would separate the faith in that regard is that you're actually implying some form of evidence that would justify that. Do I have you right?
Yeah, I think biblically, when I look at it, I don't think faith is supposed to be blind. I don't think it's supposed to be based on nothing.
Awesome.
I do believe that there should be some evidence, and sometimes it's not you have evidence of what you're looking at, but you have evidence of what you've seen that gives you hope in what you're moving towards.
Sure. And what if for me as like a skeptic, what would you give a skeptic as your best evidence, like your best example of evidence?
Man, here's the thing. There's a ton of things that I look at that's evidence. My life one is one thing that I look at as evidence. I've got this like the crazy God stories I have. They're all in this journal.
As soon as you hear, man, some things, man, here's some things in my life that has happened. That's not evidence. That's not evidence.
Journal. I started keeping this in 2006, and just all
Hold on, I have to start talking faster again. That's not evidence. That's not evidence.
that stuff comes out
I can't even talk that fast anymore. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. It's probably because I'm getting old.
of this journal. A lot of that stuff I look at and go, it's just, to me, I look at it and I go, I don't see how that stuff could happen apart from God. When I look at archaeology and science, and this is a whole nother conversation. I'm not trying to delve into a whole big thing. But I think that there's science and archaeology that substantiate the Bible. There's a lot of stuff, and again, this would be a whole nother show.
Yeah. But you would say that you would
Exactly.
You wouldn't just require somebody to read just the Bible. Like you would say that they would be justified in looking for the evidence, or would you say it just stands alone on its own?
I think we need to question. Here's the thing. I don't believe God is expecting us. When I look at the Bible, I don't see God expecting us to say, just believe in spite of evidence. Don't believe without evidence. I think skepticism is healthy. I've had a massive amount of skepticism in my life going forward, and I'm still skeptical at times. I go through hard things, and my skepticism still comes out. I still question God. I still have doubt. I'm not. Wait, ask your question again. I'm sorry. I had a.
Well, I was just. I mean, you pretty much answered it. I just was wondering if the Bible by itself is enough for the person, or basically, would it be good to doubt, and would it be good to look for those evidences? And which you pretty much answered. But you went into kind of and we don't have to go down this road, obviously. But you kind of went into the science aspect of it. Do you think that your understanding of the world, and maybe aspects within, say, biology or cosmology, do you think that you could maybe misinterpret that, and then that also subsequently affect your worldview in terms of a God?
Okay, say that again, and
so I'll put it a little more simply. Does your understanding of the world, say in like biology and cosmology and the things you understand about science, have an impact on your worldview in regards to God?
Yeah, so I think there's a relationship there. Like I look at what science says, and because like I grew up really skeptical. Like my parents made me skeptics towards Christianity. So you've got Christians who are saying, oh, the earth is 7,000 years old, and here's the origin of it. And I'm not, and even when I look at the Bible, I'm just going to take it. I take it at face value, but like I've gone and I'm not prepared to get into like a discussion on it or whatever, because I don't have all
100%.
But, as I've researched it, I'm sitting there going, can I trust the Bible? And so I look at the things that the Bible says. And for me, it's not just, well, I see what it says, so I want to get evidence to support it. Like,
Gotcha.
I get atheists that are coming at me, and different religions are saying, here's what we believe. You've got, how many, generations of scientists that are saying, here's where the world came from. And I've really had to question, how does that, reconcile with the Bible? And, it wasn't an easy thing for me to get to. I really had to look at it and go, what does the evidence say? When I look at science, I think it has a different thing than what you would say. I think the evidence points to a different thing than what you would say.
Sure.
What? Those were a whole lot of words, and nothing was said. There were a whole lot of words there, and nothing was said. I can tell you this. But back again, the first episode ever on this channel. Anytime I went off camera, one of two things were happening. I was either smoking a cigarette or pouring a drink. Just gonna throw that out there. But yeah, that was a whole lot of words. No points made.
But I was really looking for, I'm sitting there going, if science, if we can prove through science that this is wrong, then I have a problem with what I believe. But when I look at science, I go, okay, it substantiates this.
Okay.
So
Until you get to the first book, or even the second book. Oh god damn! And see, now there's a lot of these conversations we had. I wish I could go back and rehab these conversations. Because now where I'm at, what, 5-6 years, whatever later, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a good answer. That's kind of what I wanted to get a basis for, of like how the natural world kind of impacts your beliefs in
I'd be pouring a cigarette and smoking and drinking.
regards to the supernatural and that understanding. So we can go more into those questions later if you have time.
All right, let's skip ahead a little more.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
it wasn't just one thing. It was, a couple $1,000, some other ones too. But yeah, that one, yeah.
I was trying to figure out where
Burning bush.
Of other people's situation.
More convinced I've become because I've just seen it to be true. The more I look at it, and then
But it doesn't make it true. I
got you. Okay, so the why. So why do I believe what I believe? Why am I a Christian and not a Buddhist, an atheist?
Okay. So it would take persuasion for you to believe. I'm convinced, whatever, but it comes from Romans 8.
Straight line the whole way through. I think at that point, that's where me and you kind of split off. Is what we take the evidence as, and then how we apply that to the conclusion and whatnot. But anyway, Pasta, send that back to you. We can get into the why and Pasta. I'm sorry, I just saw his name in the comments.
Oh, he's over
Austin.
there.
Yeah, Austin.
I really enjoy some of his videos. They're hysterical, man.
Yeah. He's the reason for the season in terms of this even being a show. So we'll send that back to Austin, and he can throw in the why there.
It's so weird to hear my government name being called out on the YouTube.
Yep. So I'm going to share this verse. And
what's up, Wayne? Yep, that is J Mike. We all got our how's the old saying? We all cut our teeth. Atheist YouTubing. We all cut our teeth on the same channel here. Yeah. We did a damn thing. Austin, that's the government name. Oz is my childhood nickname, and I switched that shit up with the quickness.
a simple word definition, then we'll go into the why. So one thing that I hear commonly from Christians, and you,
Austin.
I don't even know if you realize that you threw it out there, and I wrote it down because because I love when I hear it, because I'm like, oh yeah. But they
when I step in,
they go to Romans 8 and they say, I am persuaded that this or this is real, or this is fact. And some people say, I am persuaded, I am convinced, whatever, but it comes from Romans 8, I think it's 38 and 39, where Paul's talking about neither life nor death can take me, yada yada yada, right?
Nothing can separate us from the love of God.
Hey, man, and back then, man, I'm like fresh out this shit. I'm fresh. I'm spitting scripture like I'm a goddamn machine gun back then. I'm rusty now. I'm rusty as fuck. Back then, it was like a goddamn machine gun.
Yeah. So here's the problem with that verse. Is I'm now going to pull up the definition of persuasion. Oh, why did my phone do that, Rose?
Technology. It was God. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Oh, where'd it go? Come on, phone. You can do it.
Hallelujah.
Technical difficulties here on the Atheist Roundtable. We'll be right back after these short messages.
All right, so here we go. It pulled it up. My phone's doing like 8 things at once. So I'll run through a few of these definitions. The obviously there's persuasiveness, the ability to persuade, the act or process or an instance of persuading, an opinion held with complete assurance, a system of religious beliefs, a group adhering to a particular belief system. But then if you click on, come on, work for me. Oh God. All right, for time's sake, so this is what I'm gonna tell you, Chris. For time's sake, because I don't want to waste much time. So, persuasion is a an effective tool by magicians, by salesmen, and I've been in sales for 20 years. And persuasion is actually one of the key traits of being an effective sales guy. You can persuade people to buy into the features and benefits and value that you are trying to demonstrate.
God, you can tell I'm right out of sales right there. Features, benefits, and values. Features, benefits, and values.
To them, and I'll continue to do this when we get to the why. And you two are talking. I'll pull it back up just so I don't look like an ass because my phone's being dumb. But being persuaded, being persuaded has nothing to do with you being factually based, and that those are two different things. Like I can be persuaded just like you are now. I was persuaded at one point that God was real and Jesus was real, and then as soon as I went and I started, I took away the persuasion and somebody else's input or whatever, but I started reading the Bible without God goggles on, so I call it, and so does Matt Dillahunty, and I just started reading it. And I noticed that there's, talking snakes and donkeys and bushes that catch on fire and talk, and they do all those things. I'm no longer persuaded that shit's real. Because that was only persuasion would get you to believe that. Because and I'll just ask them. We'll move on to the why. Chris, yes or no? Have you ever heard a talk snake, a donkey, or a talk snake? Have you ever heard a snake talk, a donkey talk, or a bush catch on fire and talk to you?
No.
Okay, so it would take persuasion for you to believe that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll come back to that because that'll play into the why, and I'll get these phones. I'll close out the other apps, so we'll talk more about persuasion because persuasion does go right into the why, which is why I did that. But the last question, and we have about a good half hour here for
What's up, Shane?
us to discuss the why, which is exactly what I wanted. So to present the question. So Chris, we talked about your life story, what got you to where you're at, and you are a Bible believing evangelical Christian, and your convictions are grounded and held within the biblical faith. So now, why? What has convinced you? Why do you believe that the God of the Bible is the way and the only way?
Why do I believe that a donkey talked and a burning bush talked to a crazy dude out in the desert? That that kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, first, so can we hit on the persuasion thing a little bit? Can we talk about that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I had to unmute. So yeah, okay. we can if you want real quick. I was trying to dig those my whole browser shut down, so I'm trying to pull it all back up.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you. So you're saying that persuasion can only? I just want to make sure I'm understanding or not misunderstanding. Are you saying that if someone's persuaded, the only way you can be persuaded is if you're deceived? No.
That's not what I'm saying at all. No.
So, do you think it's possible for someone to be persuaded by evidence?
Absolutely, you can be persuaded by actual evidence. But if somebody, and that's why I brought that story up before I get my browser back going here, it would take more than persuasion for me to believe that a snake
Yeah.
and a donkey talk. That's where I was trying to go.
He's kind of saying like you could be persuaded by your own thoughts, but it doesn't make it true. I think is what.
Okay, I
Yeah.
got you. Okay, so the why. So why do I believe what I believe? Why am I a Christian and not a Buddhist, an atheist? Whatever, right?
Yeah, I mean, more or less.
Okay. So here's one of the big things for me. One of the, I guess, the core things of Christianity for me, like I really wanted change in my life, and I had seen, and I know we've talked about this a little bit, and but I'd seen people that had been, just delivered out of stuff or had their life changed, and so there was kind of like that foundation, but I just totally had a brain fart. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
We were in persuasion. Don't feel bad. It happens to me half time. I'll be like, oh, I have this great point. Then I'm like, what the hell am I talking about?
Yeah, that just totally. I was processing what y'all were saying, and I had something I was going to say, and
So while you're having a brain fart, I'm going to persuade you to send me $1 billion.
No, you just told me. I will.
So it at the end of this, it's still crazy God stories, right? Yeah. So let me share a couple short ones here, and then I'm gonna go to bed. And we're going back to the old school. Damn, man. I often forget how long this channel's been going. Run in. Where'd it go? God damn it. I just had it right here. Oh, so this is a good one. Man, this shit's nostalgic as fuck, man. I can't say I'm drunk, but I got a decent buzz. I'm enjoying this. Oh my God, this goes all the way back. This shit look like a fucking Pornhub porn intro.
But I do want to circle back around to that now that we're having this conversation again, and this is an actual roundtable format. So you talked about Jesus being the why, why you believe what you believe. But now that you've had time to think about it,
hell yeah, have fun, bro. Have fun.
I've asked you this, at least 2 or 3 times now, and this is kind of the rubber hits the road here, and this is the brass tacks. Kobe, what convinced you that your God is real? And without the Bible God of the creator of the universe, according to your book, there is no Jesus. So Jesus is like, that's cool as far as why you believe, but what convinced you that the Bible that created the heavens and the earth and Jesus and the resurrection and the crucifixion, the resurrection, like what was it that convinced you that all of that is true?
I guess we kind of get on the whole convincing thing. The main thing that convinces me that the God of the Bible is real is the Messiah was prophesied over thousands of years by different prophets chosen by God.
Bullshit.
And then and Jesus of Nazareth fulfilled the prophecies and even predicted his own death before it even happened.
Bullshit.
Then he rose from the dead, and we basically can prove that through the testimony and the blood of the martyrs. So also, the Bible accuses all men of evil, and I know my thoughts. I know um, what I do, what I can do. I know the things of this world, and it basically just opened up my eyes to understand that the Bible is 100% accurate to the prophecies that were fulfilled, and even
100%
us
accurate.
as humans and our nature and sin.
He said 100% accurate.
So
Okay.
whenever it comes to the question of what
Kobe,
convinces you, that's it.
Well, Kobe, to save you and myself and the listeners time, like I'm not going to dive into textual history and validity. like we could have another 4-hour conversation just on that, right? What I want to know is there was a moment. There was a moment or a sequence that happened in your mind or in your life or whatever that convinced you that, okay, this God that I've never ever actually met or talked to, or like I have no way to demonstrate he's real, but I'm going to base my entire life and my family's lifestyle on this God and what he says is and isn't, true or valid or right or wrong. What was that? I want to know what convinced you, because I wanted to convince me. I wanted to convince Jeff, and I wanted to convince Mike and Pasta and Steve and the rest of the world. Like, if it's true, I want it to convince all of us. But right now, everything you've shared, you've only convinced Kobe. You're not convincing.
Wasn't that the question? What convinced me that the God of the Bible is real?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that's not testable. So how do we? So what you shared then? Okay, if that's true, what you shared, how do we test that? How do we test that so that convinces Jeff and Mike and myself and Pasta and Steve and the rest of the fucking globe that's accurate? Like, how do we test that?
the rest of the fucking globe.
I'm not sure how to test it.
Okay, so
simply by faith, I can say that.
Okay, so faith is a pathway to truth. Is that what you're telling me?
Now, see, you could tell from the number 1 episode to now, like your boy been digging in.
Faith is it could be.
No.
For myself, faith is, yeah.
No,
but what do you mean by as a pathway to truth?
Faith is in you take God out of the equation. Is faith the pathway to truth to anything else? Let's pretend gods aren't even in the conversation. Is faith a pathway to truth?
I can't really take God out of the equation. So for me, it's if you're talking about truth, I would say no. You can't put faith into truth. I guess you can't find truth by having faith in, I guess, what you see worldly.
If I remember right, this is where shout out Pasta Mike. He made it a thing. He ran with it. Where I was like, faith is bullshit. I think it might be this one. I don't remember.
But as a Christian, I would say yes.
Okay, so you have this one thing in your life, this one thing that you want to believe and you expect other people to believe just on faith, and you can't demonstrate it. Is that what you're saying? Sure,
I can demonstrate it.
Okay, how?
We can open up the Bible and start reading certain passages out of that.
That's circular reasoning. You can't do that.
What do you mean you can't do that?
You can't. That's like saying, and J Mike loved it, and I'm stealing this 100% from him. But we don't open the science book and say the science book is real because the science book says it.
We can't open up the science book because the science book said it.
No, we can't. We can't say what is in the science book is real because the science book says it. Because anybody could have put the writing into the science book. We have to have demonstrable evidence that what's in it. Like we had to have experimentations and measuring and numbers and statistics and data to substantiate those claims, where with the Bible we can't do those things. So you're asking me and the entire world that doesn't believe to just take what you say on faith. And I'm sorry, I don't do that in any fashion or any form of my life.
There you go.
Like, that's the one thing I always go back to is a business deal. If you and I are talking about a business plan and we're going to build a business, and you come to me and say, well, Austin, just have faith that the numbers are going to work out and this is going to be profitable and we're going to make a ton of money, and I can't really show you data or numbers or analytics on it, I'm going to tell you to fuck off.
Y'all put me on the spot. Why'd y'all do that?
I'm gonna tell you
Just
to
make me all big on the screen.
look. You can tell I calmed way the fuck down, but also now I'm like, I'm gonna tell you to fuck off.
That's
But sure, you can think like that. I guess if you want to talk about the whole science book analogy that you used, it's kind of flawed because it's not the science that speaks, it's the scientist. So how do you know that the scientists are accurate even if they test it?
Kobe, science is measurable.
Absolutely, Virillion. Apollo existed. It's real. It's real, bro. It's real, bro.
We can measure it. We can watch it. We can observe it. Like, that's science.
Sure.
We do all of those things. Guess what we can't do with God? Guess what we can't do with a God claim? We can't measure it. We can't test it.
Oh, this is
we can't prove it to be demonstratable.
This is
We can't do any of those things. But yet this being that created the entire fucking universe, right? And he has the ability to love all and be everywhere and know everything, right? And he should know exactly what it takes to convince me that he's real, but yet doesn't show up in my life to show me how he's real, right? That should be very, very easy for him to demonstrate if he's all-knowing and all-powerful, and he actually really loves me and made me in his image. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to bring out to you. Because guess what? The only way that you can look at that on the other side of it and justify him not showing up and not demonstrating himself to me as a non-believer and a skeptic is, well, you got to believe it by faith, which faith is bullshit.
What he say?
Which faith is bullshit.
Hold on. What he say?
By faith, which faith is bullshit.
What he say though? What he say though? Faith is bullshit. All right, hold up. I got one more and I'm going to bed. One more. This one's a quick one. That's what she said. Oh, god damn it. What? Why does it do this shit? Where did they go? There it is. Man, some of these intros I forget about. Some of these intros were badass. Fucking badass.
Yeah. It's the time.
So this is, once we get through the intro, which I'm going to watch because I miss this shit. This was a real-time SE session. Your boy doing an SE session downtown.
Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. It's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Yeah. It's the Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Tang Gang. Yeah, it's the Tang Gang. Yeah, I got an idea. Let's take these beliefs and bad ideas and let's stack them up. Stack them up to see if these people can back them up. And if not, this is what you can do, is just pack them up and go on your way. Cause you should have known, everybody at Tang, we don't play now. Yeah, we need that evidence. We need that evidence. to make shit relevant. What you saying? What you saying, man? Can you prove it?
Big F.
What you doing? Let's do it. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Tank gang. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Tank gang.
Gang.
Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Tank gang. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Tank gang. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Tank gang. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Tank gang.
I think you guys already know now. If you didn't know, now you know it's Tank Gang.
Where like I could lose my job, I could lose both my parents in a crazy accident, I could lose everyone around me, and I would still have faith because like God is.
That was for a purpose.
Yeah, like God has a bigger plan, and it's something that I don't understand. Like I may never understand it, and maybe sometimes I'll get frustrated that I don't understand it, but like. I'm on earth, I have an earthly body and I have an earthly mind, and someday I will understand it, but like right now maybe I don't, but I have to have faith that it is for a better thing.
And see, for me, I need personally to have a belief or a conviction. I need more than I need more than the book, and I need more than faith. I don't apply faith to any other area of my life. So why would I do it there? You know, and that's how I got to where I'm at.
What more do you need?
I mean, I could. There's you know, there's a lot of atheists that'll be extreme, you know, and ask for crazy stuff. But
You're being rude to them.
Go ahead, because this is
Yeah,
pretty
we're-
intimate. Like,
All your friends are in there waiting right now.
that's fine. They can wait.
Just get up. Come on.
Just order without us.
You've been out here for like 30 minutes.
I'm like pretty.
I understand, but you can come back a different time or something. Come on.
I'll come.
Come on.
Like 10 minutes.
Amanda.
Please, Chase.
No, dude, I appreciate you doing this. It's cool, but come on, guys. Come on. We're having
No, come on, Chase.
We are actually having a good
No, I'm not joking. Like,
You guys are.
So the if I remember correctly, there's a group of them, like eight or 9, 10, whatever, and they're meeting downtown Fort Wayne, and they're supposed to be going to dinner. And I got these two. I got them to, you know, start to have the conversation, and then their friends are coming over, and they're like, and it's not been 30 minutes. It's not been 30 minutes, but like we're waiting, and they're like, no, we're like in this because they think they're gonna convert me, right? They think they're gonna get me saved.
Pissing all of them off. So come on.
well, go order.
They have ordered. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna be done
That's
before
fine.
you guys are
I
done.
don't care. I'm not hungry. This is important.
We're having a good conversation.
I'm not hungry. This is important.
All right. See you guys. Sorry about that. Say the
oh,
question.
you're good. You're good. Sorry, I just realized I knocked my camera. What would I need? That's I think about that all the time because I get asked that all the time. I would need some type of evidence, the same way I would observe and test something that I do every single day, right? So I know I have the pin. I can drop the pin. I can test and know that the pin's here. I want, you know, I would need something like that. It doesn't have to be that exact example, but something like that, because faith in the book in and of itself aren't enough for me.
So being an atheist, like you yourself are an atheist, what do you see when you die?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Just like, do you remember what it was like before?
I see is hell. Hell, to me, is absolutely nothing. Me, myself. Absolutely nothing.
So, do you remember what?
Oh, it's so disgusting seeing that wedding ring on my finger. I just want to point that out. It's so disgusting to me.
What it was like before you were born? Was that hell also?
See what I'm saying? Because it's the same.
What do you mean before it was born?
Like before you were
Exactly. Really.
ever here.
Exactly.
Do you remember what it was like before you existed? Yeah. And so as an atheist and a skeptic, my position is that I think we go to a place of non-existence again, just like we did not exist before we were born.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. It because right after, like literally right after that, they were like, yeah, we should probably go. We should probably go. I'm like, yeah, it's probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea because at that point it was like you're not going to be able to pin me down on hell. You're not going to be able to pin me down on hell. So what's the point? Keep talking. What's the point in continuing to talk? Oh, I was trying to find this short clip. God damn, I was trying to find this short clip to use as my outro. God damn it, where'd it go? I was going to use it as my outro. Motherfucker. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Some of a bitch. And that shit was going to be funny. It's no longer going to be fun. Oh my God, I forgot about this. Man, we got so much back content here to fucking, that's fucking hilarious. Here's a funny. We'll make this. We'll make this one the outro. We'll make this one the outro. And y'all know David McDonald, right? Deep drinks. Y'all know David McDonald, right? This shit was fucking hilarious. This is what when I had David on the channel back in the Dizzy, and I interviewed him. And yeah, this will be the outro. And shout out David McDonald and shout out to Heathen Queen. Because this shit's a riot. And this will be also my outro.
Here we go.
Oh, hold on. I forgot. I got to say this. This is when David said he could freestyle battle me. He said he could freestyle battle me. This is what happens. This is what happens. It's goofy. It's goofy.
All right, hang on. Yo. I'm here with Tang Gang. We don't do thing. We are pretty gang. I'm here with Oz. I just live in Oz. Fuck! I'm so bad. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch. I'm here with Tang Gang. We don't do thing. We are pretty gang. I'm here with Oz. I just live in Oz. Fuck! Not so bad. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch.
Hold up. I gotta see that again. I forgot. Oh my god, I forgot how fucking funny that shit was. Hold on. Heathen Queen's
Yo. All right, hang on. Yo. I'm here with Tang Gang. We don't do thing. We are pretty gang. I'm here with Oz. I just live in Oz. Fuck! Not so bad. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch.
I mean, you said it, bro. You said it, bro. Not me. One last time before I lose my shit.
Yo. I'm here with Tang Gang. We don't do thing. We are pretty gang. I'm here with Oz. I just live in Oz. Fuck! Not so bad. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch. Hidden Queen's a bitch.
I mean, you said it. Now you got to deal with the Heathen Queen. No, we all had fun with this. For the record, we all had fun with this. But god damn it, that shit's fucking funny. All right, love you. I'm out.